Hi, my name is Lisa Bobbitt, and the organization that I was assigned is the Heritage Foundation. So let's take some time to learn a little bit about the foundation, the Heritage Foundation. So, the Heritage Foundation is located in Washington, D.C., the heart of politics. They are a nonprofit conservative think tank with about 500,000 members and an annual revenue reported in 2023 between 151 million dollars. Their funding is primarily through private donations, which they are very proud of because that shows their support from individuals of their viewpoints. So, about 2% of their funding comes from corporations, while 76% comes from individual donors. The Heritage Foundation really prides itself on its central purpose of returning power to the people. So, while they are known for their work in education policy, they do have a broader purpose of shaping America into a country where freedom, opportunity, prosperity, and civil society flourish. According to their website, you can see that their mission is to formulate and promote conservative public policies based on the principles of free enterprise, limited government, individual freedom, traditional American values, and a strong sense of national defense. So, looking specifically at their education publications, you will see that they have several different areas that they have focused on over the past few years. So, one of the key areas that they emphasize is school choice and education freedom. So, this includes advocating for policies that allow families more flexibility in choosing educational options for their students. This could include vouchers or education savings accounts. They also have several publications focusing on diversity, equity, and inclusion. And in those publications, their conservative stance is very clear. They're promoting more of what they call a balanced perspective, and they are very critical of DEI policies. They also have a focus on higher education reform and critical race theory, along with civics education. So, in a lot of those publications, they're really looking to influence how history and race are taught in schools. And then lastly, they do have publications that are focused on federal student aid, college accessibility, and also student loans and repayment of those student loans as well. Throughout all of their publications, their conservative viewpoints are clear and evident. So, if you were to browse their website, you would find that their publications include policy analysis, research reports, executive summaries, commentary, and also policy briefs. When reading through their publications, it's very evident that they primarily synthesize existing data and use that data to then produce policy recommendations. They don't really have a lot of research they're conducting themselves, so they are relying on already done studies and existing data sets to then make policy recommendations. So when you take a look at their political stance, one of the things that they really make clear on their website is that they do not work on behalf of any special interest group or political party. Rather, they are openly conservative and they advocate for that free enterprise, limited government, and traditional values. Their conservative viewpoints and ideological positions are really clearly reflected throughout their publications and on their website. So, the last question is: are they credible and scholarly, and would they be a good source to use in a dissertation or capstone project? So while they are extremely influential in policy and politics, and they're very frequently referenced in conservative advocacy by conservative advocacy groups, One would have to use caution in using them for scholarly research just because they are um, really looking at things from that conservative lens. So rather than them being like an objective body, they really are looking through that lens, which, as a scholar doing dissertation or working on a capstone, you want to make sure that your research is coming from an objective viewpoint and not so narrowly focused. Okay, references, and thank you so much.